Now, objects and arrays are fundamental data structures in JavaScript that will allow you to store and manage collection of data. So just you understanding how to create and manipulate these data structures or these structures is it's important for effective programming. Now, a JavaScript object consists of a collection of a key value pairs. So these key value pairs are called properties. So each property consists of a key, also called a name, and a value. And then the key is a string, and then the value can be any data type, including another object or a function. Now let's quickly create a new directory here. I'm just gonna call it objects. Now there's several ways of creating objects in JavaScript. So first we can use object literal, a constant person, and then a person will be say first name. To access the object value key value pairs, then we can just say console.log say person dot first name. And if we actually look there, then we can see the first name of Jane. So you can access the object properties using the dot notation or a bracket notation. So with it, so this is a dot notation, and then we have the bracket notation. So that will output Smith. So if we go ahead and look at it, then we can actually see it outputs Smith. So you can also use the new object. For example, let's say we have, you can say const student is new object. Now let's say we want to update, let's say now we want to add or update or delete properties in the project. So in the objects, we can actually do like this. So we can just say person dot city. So we're basically adding a property that isn't here. Okay, so and then we can just say is Devon. I'll say my name is dot last name, and then I live in now if we see, then we can see my name is Jane Smith and I live in Devon. Now let's say we want to update a property, then we can just say person dot age is 26. So now if we log person dot age, then this will be a 26. If we can log like this person dot age, so they should actually give us a 26, and then we can actually see, so it updated the age there. And then when it comes to deleting a property, then let's say we want to delete is student, then we can say delete person dot is student. Now if we log console.log person, then we can actually see that we don't have is student anymore. So we can see the first name, the last name, the age, and the city. Now there's also a shorthand that you can use. So now a property shorthand it allows it allows you to define an object properties using variables with the same name. We could just say const name, and then is Alice, and then const age, say 21. Then what you can do, you can say const will be name and age. Now if we log console.log a student, then we can actually see a name and age. We also have method properties. Now method properties allows you to define functions inside objects in a more precise way. For example, we could have an object, let's call it customer, and then let's say name, and then we're gonna have a method called greet. Then initially we're gonna use this dot name, and to access a method we're just gonna say console which is gonna be customer dot greet. Then we can say we see hello, my name is Bob. Now another type of an object is an array. Now in JavaScript, an array is a special type of an object that is used to store multiple values in a single variable. So arrays are useful for managing list of data because they provide different methods and properties to manipulate data efficiently. For example, let's say we've got an array fruits. So that's one way of creating an array, or we can say const cars is new array. So these are the two methods you can actually define an array. Now arrays are accessed using their index, which is 0 based. That means that Apple is on index 0, this is on index 1, index 2, index 0, index 1, index 2, and index 3. So let's say I want to print out Audi, so that's going to be index 1. So we can console dot log, and then we can actually see that it's going to print only that one. So you can also add and modify and delete elements in an array. So adding elements, and then now if we log the fruits, then that will add grapes at the end. So we can actually see now that we've got grapes at the end. Yeah, so what we can do, we can say fruits on 0, we want a apricot. Let me just put this on the next line. Now if we look at that, then we'll see that we have apricot. So we removed what apple, and then we updated it with apricot on index 0. Now when it comes to deleting elements, we can use we can say fruits dot splice. So this will remove one element at index 1. Okay, what's on index 1? It's a banana, right? So it's going to remove one element at index 1. Let me just put this line somewhere here because we're going to keep on using it. Now, if we check here, then we see that we don't have banana anymore. So this removes one element at index 1. All right. Now, we also have other properties and methods, because arrays comes with a variety of useful properties and methods. All right. So the length method, it's going to calculate how many elements are in the array, and then we can see there's 3 elements in that particular array. So let's say now we want to remove the last fruit, so we can actually use so let's say we want to remove the last element, which is let's say on cars we want to remove pens, so we can actually use, can just say fruits, so cars dot pop, and then let's log, and then we can see that we don't have pens anymore when it comes to cars. So pop removes the last element. And then we've got also shift. So shift removes the first element. So let's say we want to remove on cars as well, we want to remove BMW. So we can just say cars dot shift. So that will remove the first element. And shift will add one more element at the beginning of the array. So it adds, so let's say now we can say cars dot and shift. Let's say we unshift. Now if we have a look there, then we can see we've got the Honda at the beginning. You can also iterate using the loops. You can also iterate through an array using the loops. For example, we can just say for, we can use a for loop. Let I be 0, and then I dot cars dot length. So actually we're saying as long as I is less than the length of cars, then we want to increment I. Then that's how we can actually iterate. Then we can see now we've got a proper list of cars. Okay, we can also use the for of loop, or we can use the for each. Now we can, and we can actually see we've got that list there. We can also use the for each method. So we can say cars dot for each, then we should be able to see the list of cars again. Now in summary, arrays can be created using the array literals or the new array syntax. And then when it comes to accessing, elements are accessed using their index, and then arrays can be modified by adding, by changing or removing element. The properties or methods, arrays have the properties like the length, and the methods like the push, pop, shift, unshift, splice, slice, and concat. And then when it comes to iteration, arrays can be iterated using the loops, the for loop, the for of, and then the for each method. So just understanding arrays is fundamental to working with JavaScript, as they are used extensively to manage and manipulate collections of data. Objects and arrays allow you to organize and manage collections of related data efficiently. And then objects provides a way to access values using the keys, while arrays allow index access to element. And then JavaScript just provides a variety of methods just to manipulate objects and array, making data processing straightforward and intuitive as well. So using these using objects and arrays can make your code more readable and maintainable, especially when you're dealing with the complex data structures. Methods like map, filter and reduce, support functional programming, just enabling you more precise and expressive code. Now, understanding how to create and manipulate objects and arrays is crucial for effective JavaScript programming, because these data structures form the backbone of most applications, enabling you to handle data efficiently and write a cleaner, more maintainable code. And then just practice using these concepts so that you can improve your understanding as well.